Kazakhstan is one of the significant players of world economy and one of the 50 largest exporting countries today. There are 100 world states in our sales geography. There are 820 titles of domestic goods in the range of supplies. The principal share of Kazakhstani exports comes from raw materials, oil, uranium, and wheat. But recently this tendency is changing. The first processing enterprises are opening and already coming out to global markets with prepared products. You will learn in the 4 Export program about where and how the production branded Made in Kazakhstan is produced. Today in the program, Kyzylorda region enters Iranian market, Kazakhstani rice on Korean technologies, light industry, how Kazakhstani garment factories conquer Russian markets. Rice fields and fisheries come first to mind when referring to the Kyzylorda region. Located on the south of Kazakhstan, it is notable for its neighborhood with 2 diametrically opposite nature areas. On the one side, there is Kyzylkum Desert, from another, a famous Aral Sea. Few enterprises that export different products are situated throughout the region. Amongst them, there are oil and gas enterprises. Furthermore, Kyzylorda area is a leader of rice cultivation. That is why this product is also exported. The region has companies with a long history, such as the city-forming plant Aral Tuz, which sends edible and technical salts to the international market. Since last year, export of fish products is considerably increasing. For 8 months of 2017, the share of non-commodity exports in the Kyzylorda region has amounted to more than $50 billion. It is bigger than last year's corresponding period, indexes by 4%. Geography of sales has expanded as well. The region started delivering products not to 8, but 11 states. For example, this year, fish processing plants started delivering goods to European countries, notably Denmark. Meanwhile, Aral Tuz JSC used to send salt to Russia and Kyrgyzstan. This year, they started delivering products to Azerbaijan. Also this year, the deliveries of Torem Hashimi rice began to Iran. Pilot parties of tons were sent by 2 enterprises of the Kyzylorda region. In general, a close cooperation with Iran begins. We sent our delegation there recently. During the visit, several contracts have been signed. One of the enterprises that delivered trial shipment of rice to Iran is very young. Oktobe and K Company has worked in the Kazakhstani market since 2015. In September of this year, a rice processing plant, which had been equipped with the newest South Korean hardware, started working here. Oktobe and K LLP, cultivating and processing of rice. Volume of production, 120 tons per day. Export share, 30%. Geography of sales, Russia, Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan, Iran, Afghanistan, Pakistan. The harvesting season is long over. Currently, the plant is busy with processing rice and preparing land for the next season. Land preparation is a difficult process. The land passes through 12 stages from its cultivation to sowing of rice. We could reach such high figures precisely because of timely and complete organization of all agro-technical measures. All summer we have been in the field. Rice requires a very careful attention and care. In order to get a good harvest, it's necessary to use quality fertilizers, insecticides and different medicines against pests in time. All these efforts allowed us to obtain an excellent yield. This year, the warehouse received 62 quintals of rice per hectare. The acreage amounted to 1,875 hectares, which means that the current crop has exceeded 11,000 tons. This year we planted 4 varieties of rice, our traditional amber, favorite, leader, and the new type of Iranian variety which was recently brought. The new variety is designed for export. Experimental sowing of 70 hectares brought about 250 tons of Iranian rice, which were already sent home. This is on 2 to 3 hectares more on average than they receive in Iran. In the future, we'll increase this figure. We recently visited Iran with the administration of our region. We're able to conduct several agreements and memorandums on further cooperation. Rice harvested from fields is later processed and must be cleaned from shells, unripe grains, and other waste. We sort all the harvest, check it for moisture, and prepare for shipping to process. We have special units for this, by which timely control is conducted. This season we got a lot of grain, more than 100 centners. All of it needs to be sorted, cleaned, and only after that it can be sent to the warehouse, mill, or for abroad export. In September of this year, Enterprise established South Korean equipment for processing of rice. It allows for recycling up to 5 tons of rice per hour. 8 people per shift are enough for maintenance of these lines. I'm working on grain sorting. The second employee sews bags and the third one collects and sends them to the warehouse. Other people work in the warehouse, do accounting and transporting.
Birinchi аппаратында тасты алып тастайды, келген тасты, сырттан келген қара күріштегі тасты.
When rice reaches us, it needs to be cleaned. Firstly, it is cleaned from pebbles, and then special machinery separates unripe grains. Later, rice goes to the next line where it is cleaned from shells, and in the end it arrives on the screening plant. On this stage, also a lot of waste is removed and clean rice is sent to the mill. There we separate chaff and get 3 types of rice. Kazakhstani rice is popular not only in the domestic markets, but also beyond its borders. 25 to 30 tons go daily from the warehouse of the enterprise. The demand continues to grow. That is why the company plans to expand volumes of production and exports in the coming year. This winter, we would like to bring Torem Hashimi grains and to sow 100 hectares of this variety in the spring. Harvest will be sent to Iran. In addition, we plan to enter markets of Afghanistan and Pakistan through Iran. Relevant negotiations were concluded, and we have agreements with these countries. In addition to Iran, products are sent to markets of Russia, Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan, and Tajikistan. In the nearest future, together with the South Korean partners, the enterprise plans to start the manufacture of finished rice products. Cotton is growing next to rice in South Kazakhstan, but increasing attention is devoted to it by representatives of the light industry. This industry is only gaining momentum in Kazakhstan, and small enterprises grow bigger. One of them is a young factory, Dalatex, which entered the Kazakhstani market only a year ago. Dalatex LLP, manufacturer of men's shirts, volume of production, 130,000 units per year, share of exports, 15%, geography of sales, Russia. There's a few of such specialized companies of the light industry in the country. All of them are trying to protect themselves and to produce a wide range of products. But the Dalatex experience allows talking about the trend of the niche production. Men's shirts created on Turkish technology are in high demand within the country and beyond its borders. Right now, the company employs more than 40 people. Most of them are seamstresses. Each worker has her own task. For example, some seamstresses create collars and others are engaged in making of pockets. We produce around 500 shirts per day. I think they are selling fast because orders are increasing every day, not only in Kazakhstan, but also from other countries as well. Now we can meet the demand, but if it will grow the same way, I think we'll need more seamstresses. Employees of this company were taught from the start. It closely cooperates with the local colleagues, which students undergo a practical training and then they're employed by the enterprise. The training of the highest sewing standards is performed by Turkish representatives. One specialist from Turkey works here. He used to train our employees. Soon we'll send 2 employees to Moscow and another one to Turkey for advanced training. Clothes that are produced on this factory are not inferior to Turkish products. They are created on our technologies and using our fabrics. We teach employers as we do in Turkey. Since the company started its work only a year ago, entering the Russian market can already be called a success. Now they have to gain a foothold in this market and to create an image. It seems that this part of the plan is already being implemented. When we visited the Russian exhibition of the light industry, lots of people asked us if we can create only colors. This was an enterprise which sews military apparel. They liked our colors and they are interested in the supply of this part from our side. One shirt collar goes through 12 stages of production. First, the fabric goes under pressure and then it is sent to the sewing workshop where the details goes to each seamstress twice. Already stitched collar is separately ironed, corners are formed, cut several times, it depends on the shape. Therefore, the collar goes through 12 stages. It is the most difficult part to manufacture. Despite the fact that only one kind of product is manufactured here, you can never have enough work. 150 types of men's shirts are sewn here. Now we make shirts for adults, but we also occasionally help a local charity. For example, last year we made a batch of shirts for children. In general, we have future plans on the manufacture of children's shirts. Equipment from leading manufacturers allows to facilitate manual labor and to sew more shirts in less time. Sewing machines were brought from Japan and hot pressed with vacuum machines from Turkey. All of it will help increase the volumes of production in the future. Russia is a huge market. This country has a huge territory which is divided into many districts, and it complicates the movement of goods into a country. That is why we are going to not only export production there, but to open our representative office. It will happen in the end of the current, at the start of the next year, and hopefully will allow us to increase our share on the Russian market. Despite government support and the availability of all necessary things for production, Kazakhstani light industry is relatively slow progressing. It is primarily related to raw materials. Processing is still underdeveloped. We even have polyethylene packaging for our shirts imported from abroad, primarily from Turkey. Also, the cloth is imported from there, even though it could be possible to use the domestic one. The enterprise intends to rectify the situation on their own, at least to start the cotton processing from next year. For this purpose, the company appealed to the Damu Entrepreneurship Development Fund and plans to process Kazakhstani cotton, dyeing and getting fabric which is in demand among customers.